Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Chantel, and this is my TBR bookshelves. Yes, I have two. And as you can see, she's completely full with some books not even fitting on the shelf. Ooh, be careful. So this year, I really wanted to read a lot of my own personal books versus stuff I get from the library or on Libby or even on my Kindle or Audible. I really wanted to read my physical collection of books because although I love my books and I love looking at them, I actually rearranged them to be rainbow again. Starting in July, so I could restart the reading the Rainbow series once I kind of got back into the swing of things reading wise. But yes, so I had to take all my books off the shelf because my dad actually like put them to the wall, like drilled them in, so they don't fall on me in the middle of the night and kill me. So I take them all off, and I was like, well, while I'm here, I might as well just rearrange them and make them all pretty. So they're rainbow, although I will say it's not the best because series are broken up, so that kind of stinks, but I am basically wanting to do a reading the rainbow, like revamp or restart, and so I am 49 books in this year, which is a little bit less than I was hoping. I would like to be closer to 70. I just have not been able to finish as many books as I wanted to. I start books and I just get so bored. But I feel like it's the genres that I'm picking. I'm picking a lot of like mystery thriller, and I think I need to step away from that for a little bit at least. So we're gonna do a mood read of Reading the Rainbow for this round, just because I need something that's going to really grab my attention, and I'm afraid, I do have quite a few. Obviously I have more books here than I did in my dorm room, so I have tons of books to choose from, but I don't know. I'm just kind of wanting to mood read for this week. So my goal, like I said, it's 140, and I'm only 49 books in, so I need like 90 books by the end of this year, and we're already in July. This is July 7th, yes, 7th, oh my goodness. So I just really need to get going. My goal for this week is to I'm going to say finish 2 books. I feel like that's pretty good. If I do more, great. But we're going to pick out a book and I'll read it. Obviously today is Monday, the 7th. It's currently 9:55 a.m. I don't work today or the rest of this week, but I don't work today. Today's my day off. And I really want to just get her done and read a lot today. So I also want, this is kind of just not an intro video because we will do reading today or in this vlog, but I did want to go over some books I recently purchased. I have The Match by Sarah Adams and Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. This is the last book in a series, so yay. And then this is the first book in a duology. I have The Enemy, and I didn't realize you should technically read this one first. So I started reading The Enemy, and it was like, I feel like the characters in this I should already know. If something felt kind of off, and I looked it up, and yeah, it's because it was the second book in a duology. Not that you absolutely had to. I'm sure you could read them out of order, but I wanted to read this book anyway. I just didn't realize it was swapped, so I wasn't going to buy this book because I'll read The Enemy first and then read The Match, but you have to read The Match first. So these are being added to my little tiny little yellow section, so she actually needs some help. She's kind of sad looking. So right now she's like that because, yes, I could fit her in if I just kind of rearrange stuff, but we'll do that some other time. And then I got this cute little Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, I'm sorry. But also, can we talk about how adorable this cover is? It it kind of gives me Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies vibes meets like Indiana Jones, and I love that. So, yeah, this person that did the blurb says, passion, adventure, and so much swoon. The perfect novel for anyone who grew up wishing they could accompany Harrison Ford on a quest. That's cute. Okay, so this one is about an archaeologist, and she is like one of the world's like only experts on a certain Mexican jungle, like lost remains, and there's this guy who basically like goes along with her, and she doesn't like him, and blah blah blah. So it just sounds so cute. I'm really excited about that, and I haven't heard anyone talk about that book, so I'm excited to see if it's good or not. And then I got from Goodwill. I like going to Goodwill. Well, I don't like Goodwill as a company, but I like going to thrift stores to get books as much as possible. I try not to buy too many like brand new books. I try to do thrift stores or secondhand shops. So I got this. This is Death on the Nile. It was $5 at Goodwill. $5. Why? That makes no sense to me. They didn't have to purchase it or anything, and they're selling it for $5. One of the reasons why I rarely go, I usually go to like St. Vincent de Paul or a different charity shop or something, because it's only like $1 or $1.99 maybe at the most, because I don't know. Anyway, this one is a classic Hercule Poirot. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. I've heard it before, obviously in like the audio version of books, but it's hard for me to say. But I have read this one before, but it was back when I was like 15, and that was almost 11 years ago. So yeah, I don't remember anything that happened in that book. And also, I got Nightbane. I got this from Target because it was, I think it was only around like $10, and I just finished Light Lark, and that was 5 beautiful, glorious stars. Oh my word, I loved that book. I could just go on talking about it, and I literally cried at the end because it was so good. But I'm trying to hold off on Nightbane because Sky Shade is the 3rd one that's out right now, and I think there's at least 2 more coming. I'm pretty sure there's one releasing this year, and I didn't want to read them all within like the first 3 books all within like a month of each other, and then have to wait so much longer for the other 2 and then forget and have to reread them all. So I'm gonna hold off until the next book is released to read this one, and then I'll read Sky Shade, and then a couple months later, not too much later, but a couple months later, then I'll read the next one, and then hopefully when the last book, I think it's only 5 books, maybe it's more, I don't know, comes out, I could be wrong, but I think there also is some short stories, so I might read the short stories, yeah, in between there, if like depending on when you're supposed to read them. I think you can read them after either this one or Sky Shade. I can't remember. But it's about Grimm and Arrow. So yeah, these are technically on like my black shelf, or kind of almost like multicolored shelf, because some books just you don't know where to put them because they have a little bit of everything on the cover, but you don't want to put them like all, like in the reds if it's like only a little tiny bit of red, but mostly different color. I don't know. Anyway. So all that. Oh, and then I have Crows Don't by Leah Dubrinska. This is such a cute cover. This is actually a golf romance, which you don't hear too many golf romances, so love that. This is actually the fourth and I believe last book in the Fall in Love series. The other one that I have, the next one before this is Exes Don't, which I also purchased quite recently. So cute. I love a little art style that they have for these. So that one, the Matchback, that one's like a spy slash football star, which I think is so much fun. That's such a wild, like, you know. And then this one is kind of enemies to lovers, because he's like the golf world's golden boy, and she's his coach, and she cannot stand how arrogant he is, and he's like, I'm just a golden retriever who loves to have fun, and you're a stick in the mud. So I think that that's so funny. But so I can't pick this one because I have to read that one first. I really am a stickler, even if technically they're interconnected standalones more or less. I still like to read them in order. I'm just that kind of person. I don't know why. And then I got the rom-comers by Catherine Center. I adored The Bodyguard, and I'm actually listening to Hello Stranger right now on Audible. So I'm really excited. This one is about a screenwriter, and basically so he's the screenwriter, and she's gonna be like the ghostwriter who helps him revamp this really awful script. And he's all like, oh, love is just like made up and it's not real, blah blah, and she's like a romantic and is like, excuse you. So I think that this sounds really cute. I'm excited for that, and that's kind of like my pinkish purplish shelf. And so that's kind of what I have for like my new books and stuff. I am currently reading The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. But I don't know if I'm gonna finish that anytime soon, just because it's kind of slow going. Usually I feel like Riley Sager's books like punch me in the face and I'm like, more please. And they're so good and they're so quick. I'm 80 pages, almost 90 pages in, and I still feel like, okay, can we get to the meat of the story? So because there's a lot of like back and forth in between, like 15 years ago and then now and that kind of stuff. Also, I feel like I can turn on this light. Will that help at all? Yes. Sorry that we had bad lighting for 13 minutes. I am not professional. This is just a hobby. So there's that. Okay, first book. Should I pick out both of my books and kind of just go back and forth in between what I want to read, or should I just pick out one? So I do, one of the book clubs I'm in on Fable is currently reading How Does It Feel? Oh, good Lord. We're reading this one technically, and so a friend gave this to me. And not this edition. This is edition I actually purchased like 3 days before she gave it to me. It's kind of funny, but she sent it to me in the mail. So, like, it looks so good though. So this one, I love how she has content warning and a playlist. Love that. How many pages is this? 321, right? Or no, wait, oopsies. No. 314. Okay. I don't know if I want to read this right now, though. That's the problem. So let's read the synopsis and kind of go from there. So, a forbidden obsession, unyielding family allegiance, 3 deadly challenges. When a trip into the forest to collect a rare mushroom for her research goes horribly wrong, Biologist Callie Peterson finds herself falling through a fairy portal and straight into the arms of the unseelie Fae Prince. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. The dangerously unhinged and viciously handsome unseelie Fae Prince. He thinks she's an assassin sent by the humans to kill him, not a scientist, and he imprisons her in his realm, where unwittingly, his obsession with her begins to grow. Interesting. Prince Mendax, not sure, has never felt anything but loathing until his eyes met hers, this vile human's assassin's. He believes she's here to kill him, yet her beauty is a parasite that mercilessly latched onto his mind and won't let go. He itches to feel her smooth skin, even though the unseelie royals would rather burn than touch a human. It's a dangerous desire. If he does not destroy the girl soon, she may be the only thing capable of destroying him. Mendax, I'm gonna say it, needs to be rid of her. Needs to be rid of her. I'm so sorry. But he also needs to entertain his people. So he challenges Callie to 3 deadly trials. If she survives, she gains her freedom. If she doesn't, his wrath is only the beginning. Ooh, okay. That makes me kind of interested to read it, but at the same time, this is just, I don't know, this just keeps on calling to me, and I feel bad picking 2 greens, because technically these are both green, but I think I'm going to do it. I think we're just gonna do a green list this week. I think it'd be kind of fun if we did like a green taste test, if that makes sense, and did some green books. So I'm going to start with this one and we'll see how far I get into it, and I'll update you, and then I will begin this one eventually, but I'm not going to start them obviously at the same time. But let's pick up some bookmarks. So already for How Does It Feel, we're picking my Pretty Butterfly one. That's just a given. But for the archaeology one, where is it? Ooh, I'm gonna pick this butterfly one because it kind of, I don't know, it like doesn't quite go, but it goes well enough to be like, yes. So yay! Okay, I'm going to start this and I will update you when something good happens or it's terrible on a DNF or whatever, whenever happens. So I'm 34 pages in. I'm on chapter 3, and they're kind of long chapters actually. I'm kind of surprised at that. Maybe since it's a romance, usually they have shorter chapters, but it's like 12 to 13 pages for each chapter. So this is cute so far. It's not overly cute, which I was kind of hoping it was going to be like sickening, but right now it's not. But they're kind of establishing, I can't talk. I can't. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay. It's going slower than I originally thought it was going to, but I know that the author is just trying to establish the whole like true enemies to lovers, and she's hinting that they may have had a moment in time previously where they were I don't think that they were like together, but I think maybe there was like, a kiss or something, and then after that it's like, so yeah, but they both still have like the hots for one another, very much so, but they're like, no, we can't say anything because he's my enemy, you know. But so it's cute, but it's not like anything revolutionary at the moment. But I mean, did we think it was going to be? No, we're not putting the expectations like that on her. Be fair to her. Also, I forgot to mention in the whole intro of all this stuff that this is my new Target. This is my new Barnes & Noble. I am going on a book buying ban. I'm not allowing myself to buy any new books, new meaning also thrifted secondhand. I'm not gonna let myself be like, well, I said new books. No, all books. Purchase any new to me books. So, yeah, we're just gonna be doing a little shopping on our shelves and shop the shelves. Oh, that'd be cute. That would be cute, actually. A cute little idea. But yes, because I do want to read. I want to hit my goal of 140 books read this year, but I also want to read books on my shelves because I bought them or I was given them or, you know, I heard them somehow because I was excited about them and I really want to read them. So I am excited about all these books. I just get like, ooh, shiny, like a magpie, you know. So I'm gonna pause this, go get some lunch, and then we'll return and continue. I also need to put away some laundry and do some tidying up in my room, so we'll see how far I actually get in today, but we have until basically Sunday for this book. So okay, so sorry, the windows are open because it's not hot, but it's cool enough to have the windows open and the AC not on. So yes, but I am 102 pages into Raiders of the Lost Heart, and it's cute. It's pretty cute. It's nothing revolutionary, but it's a solid choice. So I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it. I think this will probably be a solid like 3-star, maybe 3.5 if the ending like kind of blows me away. I kind of have a feeling already where this is gonna go with their whole like, ooh, is there grave robbers kind of thing, you know. It's been hinted at a few times already, so I have a feeling, and I have a feeling if there is grave robbers, I already know who it is. So yeah. Anyway, I have not moved on to how does it feel yet. I'm kind of scared, low-key. Don't know why. I don't know. Let's read. Oh, also, I did read a little bit of Stormfront because this was the last book that I technically left off of from the original Reading the Rainbow series, and I never filmed anything for this book, or I did, but I deleted the footage because this book has taken me so long to get through. I still have just under halfway to go. I've been reading this book since I think it's April something. It's not good. So there's that. I'm not enjoying it, but I need to get through it because one, I need to read that book so I can read a different book in the Nikki Heat series, which I do want to continue. So you take one and you lose some. So anyway, let's go to the prologue here. Prologue, Callie. Let's read the first line together, and then I'll start reading and I'll update you how I feel. Okay. The damp floor of the dungeon made it hard to keep the tiny cuts of cheese on my mini charcuterie board. Okay, that's actually funny. I like that. Okay. Maybe this won't be bad. It's just already for my book club that I'm a part of. The lady who runs the book club, she's already not liking it, so I'm nervous. So, which doesn't mean necessarily that I will hate it. Maybe I'll love it and it'll be 5-star read for me, right? But I am a little nervous. My goal is to get, let's see, set a goal. Okay, let's say chapter 4. That feels like a pretty good little chunk there. That's 28 pages in, so that's my goal for tonight, is to read just the 28 pages, and then I will be done probably reading for the night. So I actually ended up reading to page 42. This is really good so far. I love the like biology, I'm not sure which science this is, but she loves butterflies and moths and all that kind of stuff, so it's really interesting. And there's a lot of science terms, but it's good. I'm on chapter 5, and I had to obviously do the butterfly bookmark. So yeah, page 42 out of 314, so like already what, 11% or something like that. Is that right? I don't know, but I feel like this is a pretty good day of reading. I read about 155 pages today, so I count that as a win. Mind you, a couple of those pages were for Stormfront because I'm just chipping away at it. But yeah, I think we did pretty good. So I'm excited to continue to work on these to get my green section down, because green, blue, and black slash like multi are my biggest sections. Let me show you. So obviously these are my shelves and they go all the way down. So we have all of my either like beloved series or series like high fantasy, or not necessarily high fantasy, but that kind of thing. So we have my childhood Nancy Drew books, some of the Percy Jackson books I haven't read or reread yet, the Cassandra Clare series, what's that called? I forget. And then it goes into her other series that's all interconnected. Throne of Glass I haven't read yet, but I have started Throne of Glass. I just need to finish it and then read the rest. And then the Maze Runner series, I already read the first one, so it's on my red shelf, but those are the 2 sequels and the prequel. Red, and then into a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, and then green technically goes all the way until like right here. And then I count like this as blue, since it's like almost kind of like an aquamarine blue. It goes up to like navy all the way down, all the way. And then I count this one up here blue, and then this one is the start of like my purple that goes down into, this is technically purple, and then this is pink onward, and then it goes again, it kind of wraps around all that. And then I have extra books over here that don't fit, and they're in like the middle of series, so I haven't put them on here. And then these are Harry Potter books, and I got this for a Christmas present. I read the first 2, working on the 3rd, but I kind of just didn't feel like continuing on in the particular moment. But I did decide to hang up my banana lights. I think they're super cute, and I have them on right now obviously because it's a little bit in the evening time. It's like 7 thereabout. So yeah, this is my little thing. And then this is my vintage red velvet wingback chair. She's a beaut. I love her so much. Okay, so it's Tuesday afternoon and I'm done with work. I'm on page 160, so I read like 58 pages thereabout. one critique I do have so far for this book is that while I like the main character, Corey, I just kind of feel like the author's trying too hard to make her this like feminist, like I don't know what the right word is for it, but it's like all she has going through her mind, like pretty much all the time, is either about the dig, which is fine because she's obviously an archaeologist, but that or sex. That's it. And it's kind of hard to read because it's like, okay, do you have, you're so brilliant, yet that's like all you think about, that like consumes your ever waking moment. How do you get any work done? Because we're not seeing any of that. We're literally just seeing her be like, oh my word, Ford is so good looking, Ford is so handsome, blah blah blah. Like, girl, like, you complain when people like objectify you, which they shouldn't, but then you're objectifying him. I really don't like that. I think it's very much a double standard, and I hate that in books. I hate that. I think that shows that the character has bad morals, and I mean, if you're gonna write a character with bad morals or morally gray, that's fine, but she's not. She's pushed as this like righteous, like go get a woman kind of girl, and she's not like that. She's really not. So that's kind of disappointing, I guess, is my biggest thing. Because, you know, you can't be like, oh, men are pigs, but then be a pig too. You know, that's a double standard. So, I don't know. It's kind of been a little hard for me to get through these last like 30-ish pages. Because, yeah, there was one point where Ford was like, he said something that was unkind, and she was like, well, whatever, Ford, I don't need you. But then when he tried to bring it up again, she was all like, and I just was like, okay, we're 160 pages in, and we have 0 character development from her. Like, she has not progressed at all. Ford genuinely has, but we have yet to see anything from her, and I'm scared that we're not. In the next, basically 180 pages, I'm scared that we're not gonna get any. That she's gonna be like, oh, just this, oh, she's perfect, she doesn't need to change it, it's all Ford because he's the man, and that's the vibes it's giving, and I just don't like that. Call me, pick me, or whatever. I don't know. Although I will say that I do like that she does acknowledge some of her flaws. I guess, like, she does, but she doesn't necessarily like go to work on them. She's like, yeah, I don't let people in, but then proceeds, like, when given the opportunity to let people in, she's like, no, even though she knows she needs to. So it's kind of like, girl, what are you doing? But I mean, this book has made me laugh. It has made me like smile. Like, I can feel myself smiling. Like, you know, like I'm reading and I'm like, I'm like, oh, hee hee, I'm smiling. Yeah. So like, it is cute. It is cute. I will say there is a lot of her being like thirsting over this guy. So I have kind of like rolled my eyes a lot because I'm like, okay. And there was one like little scene that I kind of skipped over because I was like, but it wasn't really necessary. But other than that, like one main critique, I would say that I am enjoying this book. And one thing that I will say that I do really like, I think this might technically be like a spoiler, I'm not sure, but Ford, his mom is dying of cancer, and she basically, like, he's really into his emotions, and I feel like he has kind of like a healthy sense of his emotions and stuff, and I really like that. I like that he has a higher emotional IQ or EQ. So I like that about him. I just wish she had some EQ, a high EQ, because I feel like she doesn't, but she blames like a lot of the men around her, or that like everything is like all the guys' fault in her life. And I'm like, okay, let's take some responsibility, because not everything can be everyone else's fault. I don't know, so we'll see. It's yeah, part of all that is making me roll my eyes, because it's like, it's just, I feel like this would be a good book talk book because of that, but I'm not sure if it's a good Chantel book. Anyway, I'll update you when I read some more, but girl's tired. She's been up since 3 o'clock this morning, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to read. Hi, hello. So it's Wednesday. I'm not feeling the best. I actually stayed home from work today because I've had a very, very bad headache / migraine. So if you hear the air conditioner, it has to be on. But on my Kindle, I did finish A Sheriff's Bride by Kat Cahill. It was only like 100 pages, so it was really short. So I read like 40 of those pages today and finished it. I gave it like 2 stars. It wasn't anything to write home about, honestly. Her other books have been better. This one felt way too rushed. I was actually kind of disappointed with it. Yeah, it was okay. And then I've read a little bit more of the Inheritance Games. I'm just trying to finish books I'm in the middle of right now, but this one fits with the green theme. So I'm on page 140, and I started off at I think it goes up to like page like 106 or something, so like 34 pages I've read of that. And then in How Does It Feel, I've read 60, I'm up to page 69, so then I've read 23 pages or so in this. I'm still reading this, but just kind of wanted to update you. But I haven't read anything from Raiders of the Lost Heart yet today. I just haven't really been in the mood for it. I kind of wanted to read something more fantastical, so I have been reading this. But because the Inheritance Games chapters are so short, I've been kind of going back and forth, because it's like, well, I can read like 2 chapters is only like 6 pages, so there's that. But I'm not feeling the best, so I don't know how much I'll actually read today. Like, my throat feels kind of scratchy and itchy. I think my allergies are flaring up, and that's why I have such a bad headache. But I'm gonna kind of rest my eyes for a little bit, so I probably won't have an update until either later, like late tonight, or maybe tomorrow after work. So I've read more of How Does It Feel. I'm on page 228, and it's good. I really like it so far. I know the book club I'm a part of, other people in there have not liked it. Maybe I just didn't expect this. I didn't expect this to be like a 5-star read. And I think that really helped me enjoy it. Sorry, my brain hurts. But yeah, so I like it. There's one character, his name's Walter, and I'm kind of confused what happened to him, so hopefully he's mentioned either in the rest of this book or in the sequels to this book. I don't know if I'll continue the series, but I'm kind of curious about him, if his storyline isn't wrapped up. I mean, this is like a 4-book series, so probably not. But I think this will probably be a solid like 3.5. If the ending really blows me away, probably a 4-star. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, I didn't expect it to be 5 stars, so you know. Other than that, I've not done any other reading besides just reading this and watching a little bit of NCIS. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go to bed. It's like 8:08 in the evening time, but I'm just not feeling good and my head hurts. Hey, hello, I'm feeling so much better. That was really bad, but I'm still congested, but my headache, we're good now. Anyway, I finished her. Oh my word. 4 stars. Chef's kiss. I don't know that this is very, very trigger warning heavy. There's a lot of death, a lot of violence in this book. I did skip some scenes, if you will. I think there were 3, so yeah. And there is some strong language, I will say, but this was very good. But yeah, like, as you can see, like, she's a little trigger warning heavy, but she's good. She's very like the fae kind of like, or fairy worlds and that kind of stuff. Very detailed, very just, I loved her writing style, and I ate it up obviously in like a day and a half. So I will continue to read a little bit more of the Inheritance Games, and then obviously I want to finish Raiders of the Lost Heart, but I did also want to pick another book, but I want to finish picking out or writing out all my little tabs with like my little colored pieces of paper corresponding to my shells first before I do that. So I'm going to continue on Raiders of the Lost Heart because that's technically like my pick versus the Inheritance Games. So I'm going to do that and work on my papers as I read and stuff. And then when I'm done, we'll pick a new book for this weekend. So yeah. Hi, hello. So it's currently almost 7 p.m. and I need to go to bed because I have to open my Starbucks store tomorrow. But I have all of the tabs in here. So there's like 300 tabs in here or something like that. I don't know how many books I actually own, but, and I did put all the sequels and everything. So like I have the second, for example, I have the second Good Girl's Guide to Murder book, Good Girl, Bad Blood, but I don't have As Good as Dead on there because I obviously have to read the second one first before I read the third one. So that kind of thing, I did skip some of those, but let's pick a color and then see. Ooh, try to drop them all. Ooh, got a white. I did put the black, brown, and the gray ones as like white, brown, and pink ones, just because I wanted, obviously I can't write on black paper with black pen, and I don't have a white gel pen to write on black paper. So here is our redeeming love. Okay, we're gonna pick a new one. I will read that someday, but it's It's not this weekend. No, ma'am. Okay. I'm gonna try to get more towards the bottom. Oh, a blue. There's so many blue. I have so many blue books for some reason. Okay. It is The Siren of Sussex, which is this book right here. So this is by Mimi Matthews, and it says, when Evelyn Maltravers understands exactly how little she's worth on the marriage mart. As an incurable blue stocking from a family tumbling swiftly toward ruin, she knows she'll never make a match in the ballroom. Her only hope is to distinguish herself by making the biggest splash in the one sphere where she excels, on horseback, in haute couture. But to truly capture London's attention, she'll need a habit maker who's not afraid to take risks with his designs and with his heart. I'm assuming it's like a kind of like a sound, but I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So Ahmad, I know I'm probably pronouncing that poorly. Malik has always had a talent for making women feel beautiful, inching his way towards recognition as a tailor, despite the prejudice against his Indian heritage, by designing riding habits for Rotten Row's infamous pretty horse breakers. That was a tongue twister for some reason. But no one compares to Evelyn. Her unbridled spirit enchants him, awakening a depth of feeling he never thought possible. And there's more, but that's like the gist of it. That sounds really sweet. Okay, and this is, let's see, it's kind of long. 392 pages. So it's kind of a long for a kind of like historical romance, I guess. Sorry, when our dryer or washing machine goes off, my lamp above my head likes to clink on the wall. I'm not sure why. Alright, as always, let's read the first line together. This is chapter 1, London, England, March 1862. Evelyn Maltravers entered the dimly lit shop in Conduit Street. It's kind of boring, but that's okay. Alright, and then as always, you need to pick a bookmark. I think that one has people's information on it because it's a present. You know, we're gonna pick the one my mom made for me back when I was 12 years old. It says a birthday wishes on it, and then it has my mom's handwriting on the back, and it kind of matches pretty good. So obviously I will use the back end like that. And how cute. Okay, it has like little flower push pins too. So that's the next book that we will be reading. I obviously will take this one and leave it out. Making sure I didn't drop any. And then this is going back on, and we will get to reading eventually. I'm going to bed. I will catch you soon. Please don't hate me. I started to read The Siren of Sussex by Mimi Matthews, and I'm not feeling it. So I'm going to gently DNF it. She's gonna basically go into purgatory. I'm not gonna put her back on the shelf. I'm going to put her in a stack of books that I just kind of read whenever I'm like kind of in the middle of something. Sorry, my allergies are flaring up really bad, so I'm a little sniffly. Pause. So yeah, she's going to purgatory. We're just gonna continue on with Readers of the Lost Heart, which I am a little, just under halfway. I'm like, I think 47% thereabout, and then this vlog will be done. So we finish tomorrow rather than Sunday, because my friend and I are going to Panera on Sunday for lunch, and I want to obviously spend time with her. So, yes, I'm going to just focus on this. But, yeah, Miss Matthews is going to go into purgatory for a little bit. I will attempt to try her again. I got like 13, 14 pages in. I just was like, I already don't like the main character. So, yeah, I have a hard time with female characters who, if they're so strong that they're jerks. You know what I mean? Like, you can be strong and you can be independent, but that should not have a correlation to you being a jerk and dislikable, if that's a word, to everyone around you. You know what I mean? Like, people shouldn't just like automatically hate you because you're strong. You know what I mean? Like, it also shows like women having like a soft side that's seen as weak, which I don't know. That I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into all that. But I think it's one of the problems why I had such a hard time with her so far, is because it's like she can't show any weakness whatsoever, or she can't be soft at all. Otherwise, she's like, you know. So, but we're gonna continue on, and hopefully, I'm feeling. I think I said like maybe like 3.5, 3 stars. I think this is gonna be a solid 3-star. I don't think it's gonna be 3.5. I think it's gonna be solid 3. And you know what? That's okay, because How Does It Feel was 4 stars, 4.25, and that was really good. So yeah, that's my update. I will see you when I read something, probably tomorrow. So I'm not unfortunately, DNFing the readers of The Lost Heart. I wanted to like this so bad, y'all. I wanted to. I couldn't take it anymore. It was just legitimately that bad. I know some people may find promiscuity empowering. I personally don't, and this was all that was like all this book was basically, and it wasn't even in like a wanted way. Some of it was legitimate harassment towards both female and male characters, and I can't vibe with that. So we're saying goodbye to Joe, and we're saying I'm sorry. Probably won't continue. Well, definitely won't finish this book, and definitely won't continue on in the series, because I think there's 2 more books, maybe. I'm not sure. I think there's at least 2. But yeah, just can't do it, fam. Can't do it. It's just, and also, if you're gonna advertise something as being like Indiana Jones, The Mummy, things like that, vibes like that, you know, like really be like, oh yeah, there's a lot of like archaeological vibes, and like, you know, she's like a female Harrison Ford, blah 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 blah. She was not, he was not. Honestly, the fact that both of these characters are supposed to be in their late 30s is concerning, because if I met 38-year-old men or 36, 37-year-old women like this, I would be deeply concerned, and even more so concerned because they're teaching students, like college students. Yikes, 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 yikes. No, no, no. So, yes, unfortunately, this is a dud. Technically, she gets 1 star, but like DNF, so I don't rate my DNFs because I didn't finish her. If it would have been like 85 or more percent completed, I would have just rated it and said basically I read it. But I don't feel like that's fair to rate something that you didn't completely read, because I got like halfway through. So yeah, I just and I just, yeah, everything I said before though stands, in even like more so. But also Ford as a character, he also sucks. So Corey sucks, Ford sucks. They both just are awful human beings, and if I was associated with them, if they were real people, I would not be friends on Facebook with them. Let's just say that. So yeah, so this is going in my DNF unhaul box, which is actually right below you. But that's it for this video, because I'm not going to continue on this video with the inheritance games, just because it's not technically a part of like this challenge. I'm just kind of reading it whenever I want, like a little bit of a palate cleanser break, just reading a few chapters, because it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, I have to read like it all in one sitting or a couple days. I can read in between and be fine. So yes, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my ranting, and I will see you in the next one. I am planning on uploading weekly. Hopefully that happens. As summer continues and my work schedule becomes more consistent, it will be easier for me to actually be able to schedule things and plan things, versus having all of my hours at the coffee shop be kind of whenever, wherever. So yes, like, if you want, comment down below if you read either of these books, and if you want to subscribe, you can, or whatever. And I will see you in the next one.